Absolutely. Let's go.
First off, we also have this
my bad. Sure.
keyboard, which we are going to give away after the round. There will be a question. You will have to like our Facebook page and then answer the question there. But you have to stay tuned and have to watch us. I mean, you want to watch us as well in order to have a chance to win this keyboard. So, let's go right to the table of the final of the CSL Grand Open in Berlin. Well, okay, so the players are sitting there. You can see the look on their faces. They want this. It was pretty funny to tease Lucas before this game. I mean, the difference is like 300 euros, and Lucas is a student at a university, so he would really like to have 300 more euros tonight than... I mean...
Well, it's understandable.
Yes, it is.
And I'm actually now curious who's going to start. It looks like Lucas. He's...
So, last round I was muted, this round Robin was muted. And Lucas has the Ash Blossom.
But he is starting, so the impact of the card is much lower.
Yes, indeed. But also you can see the Duelist Alliance. You can see the Chronograph Sorcerer. I mean, is he going to search for the trap or is he going to search for the Pendulum Call? I mean, maybe he drew Darkworm. If he goes for Pendulum Call Darkworm, I call this game over. Because without a hand trap, playing through this, that is really hard. He has Pendulum Call Darkworm and Chronograph Sorcerer. That is summoning Electromite without using the normal summon, plus an Ash Blossom. If he plays that out correctly, his board should end on Harbinger in defense position, Vortex Dragon, and an Omega. Also, he has the Ash Blossom, so that is basically 3 interruptions.
Will be interesting.
Yeah.
I won't call it game over. We saw so many things on the stream already this
true.
weekend. Let's see firstly if Lucas is going to play it out correctly.
Yep.
Where I actually not afraid.
No, I doubt that he's going to make a mistake.
I mean, we're in the final. They're both playing Pendulum probably already a little bit longer. With Marcus, we know it. Don't know about Lucas, but I think he was good prepared for the tournament.
Yeah, Lucas, a very experienced player, as Marcus is. Both of them top tier players. So he is going for his usual combo, destroying the gate 0, summoning the Astrograph, search another gate 0, wait for a draw. Are we going to see the trap here? He drew off of Electromite on stream like a god several times. So once he drew an Ash Blossom when his opponent's win condition was to left arm offering into Grasslock Screener after Soul Charge was out already. So that's that. And now I guess it doesn't really even matter what he is drawing. I mean, this board will be really
the trap
huge.
will help for sure.
Yeah, the trap will make it okay. So that is also good. Okay, those are the cards he searched for. I think he made a mistake there, actually, because those scales are protected by Pendulum Call, and if you want to summon the Harbinger, you are very likely to make multiple Venom Dragons.
Exactly.
And with those, you will have to destroy your scales to get some Astrograph Sorcerer back.
Okay. That could have some impact on the ending field of Lucas.
Indeed.
So right now he should be able to go for Vortex rank 4.
Yeah,
at least.
Rather Vortex Omega, because his rank 4s are not that strong. I mean, he only has Tornado Dragon as an interruption, and that card has quite fallen out of favor lately. I mean, people are playing Pendulum Call a lot. I mean, Marcus doesn't, but I don't know if he knows that. Well, let's see. So he Pendulum summons Time Gazer, Harmonizing, and Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. So he will have... I mean, usually one of his scales should be either Chronograph Sorcerer or the scale 0. And summons the Kishanke Magician. I mean, he's... What?
He's not playing Meteor Bust, right?
Pardon?
He's not playing the Meteor Bust.
Nope, he's not playing Meteor Burst. He's using a lot of darkness. I think he just clocked his field.
Let's see if it will make a difference.
No, actually not. Actually, this is enough for a Harbinger. He did not normal summon yet, so he goes for a fusion summon. It's not a fusion summon, it's a special summon. He's summoned Starving with Harmonizing and the Little Boy. Then normal summons Harmonizing and special summons the Venom again with Darkworm. Harmonizing has the restriction that you can't fusion summon with a monster that is not a magician monster, but as Starving Venom states, it is not a fusion summon, but a special summon, so you could still go for 2 Starving Venoms, even though they wouldn't use their effects in this turn. So,
but is that play great at this point? Or,
I mean,
is it worth it? That's the question. I mean, he probably goes now for another Electromite. Or he goes for the Venom copying Electromite, popping one of the monsters.
Yeah, he will have to pop one of the monsters, otherwise...
To get back the Astrograph to go into Vortex afterwards. Actually, he can still end on Harbinger, Vortex, and even recycling a little bit. Or can he? Just going...
I don't know. So he popped the Harmonizing and sounds that one. Yeah, so that works. Getting the Harmonizing. Yeah, that is even better. So just normal summon the Harmonizing.
It feels like he's missing a monster or a card to pop.
No, I think he's just gonna normal summon a monster, then pop that.
Okay, yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
the normal summon storm, as you said.
Yeah, and then search for maybe like a Chronograph or a gate. Okay, you can't search for gate 0. I think he might just have missed out on an Omega, but there could also be something that I'm missing. I mean, this way he has more resources for the next turn. Basically,
slightly, yeah. Well, he drew a Foolish. He has the Harmonizing in hand. It's alright. Zephyrtron with Vortex. It's still like it's still 3 negations.
Yeah.
With the Harbinger in defense position.
Yeah, and Ash Blossom will be quite surprising, I think.
I'm not sure. I mean, you have Lucas have so many cards that he didn't use, so it potentially has to be okay. That's the bluff with the Foolish Burial, like that one. He didn't Pendulum Summon like 1 or 2 cards from his hand, so normally you know they have to be cards that you can't use anymore this turn. So something like Foolish Burial, another Alliance, or it has to be hand traps. And I also think that Marcus and Lucas both know what each other is playing.
Yeah, they know, but
maybe even like card by card.
Yeah, that is possible. So there is a of Darkness, Vanishing Black Fang, and
there's a Curtain Raiser.
Yeah, Curtain Raiser is going to be special summoned. I don't think Lucas wants to negate that, but he's going to read it. So he negates it. Alright, take away the extenders. Negate the activation of Curtain Raiser, because then if he has a second one, the activation of the effect, not the activation of the card. So he can't use the second one this turn. I mean, it doesn't matter because he doesn't.
In this duel. It's a once per duel effect. Apparently.
Oh yeah, okay. Sure.
You said, yeah. It's correctly played on Lucas' side, from Lucas' side. So Marcus has still left the Wisdom Eye, Astrograph, the Desires, and 2 unknown cards.
Yeah, I think the Desires is pretty much safe to get ashed, right?
Yeah, sure.
So he's going to use Wisdom Eye now and then trigger Astrograph off of that. And I think this might get negated by Vortex. I mean,
yeah, you have to actually, because the purple poison in the scale.
true.
Oh, he drew Hamster.
Hamster is good.
Hamster is amazing right now because he's going to normal summon it. This will get hit by Ash, surely.
Yeah, true.
And then there's Desires, which will
maybe draw into cards that win him the game. After all,
there's the
and
Ash.
there's the Ash Blossom.
And there's the Desires.
So, Desires.
It's amazing. Like, he went through all 3 negations. He's still able to Pendulum Summon. It's still possible to go even into Electromite before the Pendulum Summon, depending what he's drawing, because of the Black Fang that can push them back the Astrograph from the graveyard.
Yeah. That is indeed correct. So what is he drawing? He's in a good spot if he draws into like another high scale and another pendulum monster.
It would be like amazing.
Yeah.
Matching, harmonizing, something like that. Okay. So
yeah,
apparently he didn't. Curtain in purple.
I mean, he could have gone into the... Is it not possible to, in this situation, go for the Electromite before Pendulum Summon?
He already used his normal summon.
Oh, right. Hamster, right.
Exactly.
So, okay. Completely forgot about that, so...
But I'm actually not... It seems like it's possible that he could maybe even go for game at this point, with so many purple poison effects around.
Yeah, but he can't really crash right now. You have to...
Exactly. Yeah, well, you have to have something in attack position to crash, but I mean, he could go like into Starring Venom. He didn't. What did he add back with Electromite the Astrograph?
I think it's a purple poison.
Okay. So, what's the Pendulum card engrave? Can't remember that one.
The pendulum card in the graveyard?
It's the other Astrograph. Okay, so he has the Black Fang, getting back the Astrograph.
Yeah.
Having possibility to go into Starving Venom, copying Electromite, popping the purple poison, popping another card on the side of Lucas, and continuing like that. But I'm not sure if he's able to go for a game like this.
Yeah, and if he decides to go for that move, he is very unlikely to build up any interruptions.
Well, the thing is, if he's going for this play, he will OTK him. If he doesn't see a possibility to do so, he needs to build a board.
So he copied the Electromite, as you said. So there is going to be like a purple poison played again. So there we have the Astro. Now we'll see if he can't go for a game, go into All Eyes Vortex Dragon because of the rank 7 engine that is in the game, but I kind of doubt it. Oh wait, yes, he could easily access it via Black Fang, but that would leave him at basically only a Stargazing Magician in hand and no scales on the field, so I think Lucas is still, in terms of resource management, in a good spot.
Well, the more it goes there, the more I think that actually these resources won't matter that much. If he goes for another Starving Venom, yeah, that's actually game.
Is it?
I think so. If he goes for... He's using Black Fang to halve it, getting back the Astrograph. Oh, he's shaking a little bit with the hands, so...
Yeah, he is probably having game right now because he's so excited.
Yeah. Did he took back the purple poison? That's the question.
I think so. I don't see it on his extra deck.
Going for a Northern Starving Man and copying Electromite, activating the purple poison, destroy it, adding back Astrograph, special summoning it, and popping the Harbinger would be enough. Only question now is, and that's the problem, he's only playing one Starving Man.
Oh, so that is huge. That is huge. Huge.
And now... Okay, I think he forgot to add back something. If we have the players there, they're discussing something with the judge.
So, okay, well, this game is exciting. That's a final. I mean, breaking boards of pendulums.
I mean, it would be amazing flying through triple negation,
yes.
out decaying.
Yes,
that would be well deserved, like this game.
Yeah, and indeed, that is perfectly executed from Marcus so far. I mean, the second Starving Venom that is missing is crucial because, as you said, he would have game already. But
just, well, I think it doesn't matter because he would also have game with what's it called?
There, Marcus. Okay, so so Marcus added a Wisdom Eye to his hand with Astragal Sorcerer. That has been Pendulum summoned previously, so as it went back to the extra, it didn't count as destroyed anymore. So he basically caused an irreparable game state, as his opponent did in the last match, and Lucas won that one, and he's up 1-0. That is a sad start for a final, guys. Sad start for a final.
That's a shame, because Marcus had game on field.
Yeah, it was perfectly executed until he...
Actually not sure if it really mattered if he takes the Wisdom Eye or not, like just the Black Fang or Poison Eyes, which he specials added to the scale.
I think that was actually irrelevant. Maybe it wasn't. Oh man, that is so hard.
Well, Lucas is up 1.
Yes, Team Trent.
Yeah.
Ooh, he is leading. I mean, what are we supposed to say about this?
Let's talk about the side deck. Let's just forget.
Let's just go ahead.
How it ends game.
This is what Marcus and Lucas both should do. I mean, just forget this game. Go on with the next games. Let's see. Lucas' side deck is not that good against the Zexal combo. He only has the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere mode, like Kang had in the feature match against Marcus, because they built the deck kind of together. He has Lancea, doesn't work. Evenly Matched doesn't work. Twin Twisters doesn't help him. 3 Typhoon might actually make a difference.
Well, and especially as I think it's not a card that you really want to side but you have to have something against these Zexal combos. So.
I mean, you have to respect that Typhoon, not the best card against Pendulum, but he's playing the Wisdom Eye variant, so he's very likely to at some point have 2 cards in his scale, where he might just interrupt the Electromite search and draw. So against the Wisdom Eye play, this Typhoon might actually make a giant difference.
That's true.
This is better. This is maybe better than Effect Veiler on the effect of Electromite, because you get to destroy the scale, and then you get to deny the search from Astrograph Sorcerer. Not the draw though, but the search. So let's see if Typhoon...
I think on Marcus' side we won't see anything that he's going to side in.
No.
Neither Cosmic Cyclone nor Space Typhoon, Foreign Chalice, Commangus, Effect Veiler. Cards to go second or for other matchups.
Yeah, I think his deck is very good at going first itself. So he plays only extenders, he plays consistency. This deck just can't not end up on this good Zexal board. Like, I
It's
mean, it works if you
really
brick really
unlikely.
hard. If you have like 3 Black Fang magicians and 3 well, yeah, 3 and 2 jackal, then you can't end up on the good board.
That's true.
Well, you can still make electromite through that, right? You normal summon a Black Fang and then you pendulum summon 1 jackal.
Just go with 3 Black Fang and 3 Harmonizing, everything is fine.
Oh yeah, right, harmonizing. That is the other 8 skill. Okay, so yeah, I know my deck very well, man. You guys have to have mercy. It has been a long weekend for both of us,
Yeah.
and yeah, we have seen a lot of strong plays.
I mean, we're also like excited, like
Yeah.
we want to see more because the first game
Yeah.
was, apart from the ending, was actually
Great.
quite cool.
Yeah.
How Marcus fighted back through Ash Blossom, the
Ash Blossom that
Vortex.
Lucas has in hand to interrupt the Zexal combo if there is not the Zexal hard draw.
I mean, master of drawing his 3 hand traps, I would say.
Yeah. Black Fang and Astrogor Sorcerer is a good start. So let's see what else he has in hand. Nothing until now. I mean, just playing with 3, it's Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires.
The hand looks decent so far.
This hand looks really good, especially against and a Chronograph Sorcerer, Astro Chrono and the Ash Blossom to possibly interrupt the Zexal combo. That looks really, really good. And he's trying not to smile, not to grin here, not to give away any information. So let's see if he's waiting for the Beatrice effect.
That's a good question.
I think he just will. I hope so for him. So Marcus' hand also doesn't look too bad. I mean, that's the major downside of this Zexal combo. Like, if your Beatrice play gets interrupted, I mean, you're already so deep into that move that you have 1 card on the field that is basically useless, which is Beatrice. Doesn't do anything except for sending 1 Darkworm to the graveyard in the next turn just to have a bit of extra resources.
Which he is playing.
Yeah. But and there's the Astrograph Sorcerer, so he's having a pretty good start. But if he
His hand is
goes,
amazing. I could even imagine, depending on his hand, that he can go into Vortex
Yeah.
before Beatrice, and then the Ash Blossom
Yeah.
would like be nothing.
yeah, I think
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't like that. I mean, it's correct to wait on the Beatrice with the Ash Blossom. It's just like when you see the Cerberus in the scale.
Yeah.
It's, because now we will see Electromite before normal summoning.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
and that's like part 1 to go into Vortex before going into Beatrice and afterwards winning the game.
so even though there is an Ash Blossom, there might just be the possible interruption to negate the Ash Blossom. But I mean, throwing Ash on Cerberus would have done nothing, as he would have just summoned the little guy,
The Curtain Raiser.
Curtain Raiser, exactly.
The problem is you're not allowed to have another scale to special summon Curtain Raiser.
Really?
I think so. Or is it a monster?
I think that was Cerberus.
Okay, I see. My bad. Okay,
Yeah. So then he could also use the Astrograph Sorcerer, and through that,
Okay, that's true.
yeah, he could just summon Electromite and then from that point on pop the Cerberus.
Well, the question is, can you know that your opponent has like 2 additional extenders next
I
to the
think
Cerberus?
so, actually, because if I mean, look at what he has seen until now. This deck is basically all extenders. This is every extender you can play, and I think Lucas knows that. So there's the Upstart Goblin, which might just make a difference, because if he draws into, let's say, Sphere mode, and he outs the board, but can't do anything else. I mean, maybe he's not going to OTK, but he's going to hit him for like 8,999 damage.
Didn't we have the same situation yesterday?
I
Where
think so.
he OTK through the upstart and through Rasphere mode?
I don't think there was an upstart, but I think there was an upstart last game for him. But yeah, the sphere mode, yes. So he banishes the chronograph sorcerer, which would be the 4th extender this turn. So, but is there any way to get another level 7 on board to go for Vortex?
Well, with another Electromite.
Right.
And as you said, there's still no normal summon
Also right.
that happened. So what you need to have the you don't need to Vortex before the patterns. I'm just quickly thinking about it, because to summon Vortex you need 2 monsters, Utopia 2 monsters, and Beatrice 2 monsters. So you need 6 monsters. You can only pen
The chronograph in his hand, in Lucas'
Okay,
hand,
that's true.
and the wisdom eye, it looks slightly different for us. So let's see what's going to happen next.
Oh, I think I see something. Maybe instead of Vortex, what did he use? Ash?
On the astrograph effect.
Okay.
So he denies him to get the search for now. There's going to be the Zephyr Metaltron, and I think this is... Okay, Jackal is safe to negate something, but I think this is just going to be Jackal and Omega, right?
No, he can use now the Wisdom Eye, especially summoning the Astrograph. Or if he has a Chronograph, depends on what he has left in hand. So he goes for... Oh! He drew the spell! He drew the spell!
So Lucas is laughing at this.
That game is over.
I see why.
That game is absolutely over.
Unless there's Ra Sphere mode from the top.
It's like the only card he can draw, and even then, like he can't summon anything, and Marcus has still a Astrograph left in hand. He could Pendulum summon. It depends on would depend on his draw, but if Lucas doesn't have the Ra Sphere mode, this game is over.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't unlikely that he's going to draw at some point in the tournament this spell.
Yeah.
Especially with Upstart, 2 Allures that we resolved. But still kind of funny.
But there is another chance for Lucas to survive the next turn. It is possible that Marcus is going to attack over the face down monster. Lucas is trying to activate the chronograph effect. Chronograph to survive a turn. So Marcus is likely to negate that with Jackal that isn't on the board anymore. And then he could chain Astrograph on the destruction of chronograph, right? Or does the card have to be destroyed from the field?
From the field.
Oh yeah, that is sad.
Like I think he's now trying to play around Purple Poison, which is like the only set monster which could really make a difference at this point.
Yeah, I mean, so I think this will be tying up the game. I mean, Lucas' hand looked great, but the hard draw of the rank up spell actually just might have won Marcus the game.
And now I'm actually calculating if it even makes a difference, if there is a Purple Poison or not. Okay, that's 700 if it's the Purple Poison. No, okay.
No, and Lucas scoops it up smiling because, well, that Zexel combo though, one kind of an FTK.
I mean, he
FTK-ish.
probably would have won the game, or it would have been interesting to see if he can win the game when Marcus wouldn't have draw the
Yeah.
rank up spell. But I mean, what's better than in the last game of the tournament, or basically in the last round of the tournament, a game 3 to decide who is the winner of our Grand Open in Berlin?
Right. I mean, it would be sad to have a 2-0 sweep, right? Due to a game loss.
Well, it would have been deserved either way.
Yeah, indeed.
Both of these players, I think, Lucas, how did he finish in Swiss?
I think X1 or X11.
So quite strong, same as Marcus, who finished first after
Yes.
Swiss
Yes, right. I can actually look it up. I
with
have
his
the
7-1 score.
I have it on my phone. So let's see. Yeah, I have. Okay, so there we go. No, we don't go. So no, I have the standings, but not the points that the players acquired during the tournament. So I don't know what his final score was in the end, but I think it was 6-1, which is also quite impressive.
And we go into game 3. I think they already shuffled up. And Lucas will start this third game
That is a hell of an advantage.
because Marcus is playing just 3 effect weathers as hand traps.
Oh yeah, it's playing Effect Vader, I forgot that. Vader is very effective though, you have to... I mean, soon Vader will probably not see any kind of play anymore as soon as Transcience comes out.
Exactly.
Because Transcience just does everything that Valor does, just better. It's
Most of the times, yeah.
Yeah, and in which scenario could Valor be better than Transcience?
Set rotation.
Oh,
Card needs an empty field.
set rotation is at 1, come on. Grinder
That's-
Golem,
It's a reason in the OCG that
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of players swapped back to effect weather.
really? Okay, that is interesting. So, let's see. Game 3 is on. The final round of the Grand Open, of the Grand Final of the Card Sports League in Berlin. It has been quite a tournament. 146 players. Not that much, but the quality, man. We had all those big names in our featured match. We had Rafael Navin, Joshua Oosters, Lukas Windel,
Adrian Dorzum,
yes,
Andre
De Vries,
Farkas,
Jack
and so
Berman,
on.
everyone. Just so many high quality players, and it was just, I had a blast casting with you so far.
It was amazing. Like, just this, it's 12th round we're
Yeah.
featuring, and every match had something special
Yeah.
or something memorable.
Yeah.
And let's see what's going to happen in the last game of this tournament.
So we are pretty excited for the starting hands of the players because that decides a lot. I mean, there are formats in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where comparing the starting hands just decides who wins, and I think this is basically one of the matchups. If you play it out correctly,
I want to say that it's a hard one because we both weren't 100% sure if Marcus could win the first
yeah,
game.
that is true. I mean,
And we see
basically,
already, just sorry to interrupt, like the first 2 cards we see there is perfect to
yeah,
answer fields which aren't with Harbinger.
Chrono, Astro, and Purple Poison. Whew. If he goes for Harbinger,
But even now with this hand,
I know.
even with Harbinger,
I
it
know.
could be like not enough. But we will see. I mean, last time
Comangus will kill the Harbinger if it comes down anyway. So Chrono, Astro, Kaiju, and a Purple Poison. That is some steam. That is some steam. So
the Chalice for Vortex.
Marcus apparently has been praying to the Yugi gods a lot. Lucas, in the meantime, is still praying to Dante, but I think that does not help him that much in 2018 anymore.
I mean, the only thing you could complain about in Marcus' hand would be like he has no out to time pendulum graph.
Oh
That's like
no.
the only.
So Lucas decided to go second maybe.
Okay,
And
that's
with
interesting.
that, catch Marcus off guard, and that hand still looks amazing going first. Even though he has Kaiju and Chalice, he still has Chrono Astro, which is so powerful. So both of them are smiling. They're having fun, drinking some Red Bull.
Which is
Chrono
actually a
is
good
awesome.
idea.
Yeah, it's hard. Do you want me to catch some?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Be right back, guys.
I think it still takes like.
Gonna get some food.
Oh no, actually, Lucas decides to go first, even though he sighted in Typhoon. Okay, that looks interesting. So, Leo, what are you thinking about the decision to side in Typhoon going first?
I kind of like it. It's an extra disruption that you have. I mean, I don't like it that much because there are better cards. I think he was maybe just too afraid of the Zaxel combo that could have been not sided out due to a mind game, and then he went first. But man, I really
I
dislike
could
it.
imagine that it is no. There's no reason that it would be like the time pendulum graph that. Like, I mean, the start is still like it's really good. The start. He has chronograph, so he has the how's it called? The electromite without the normal summon. But just this Typhoon doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest.
Yeah, indeed, there are just better cards that you would not want to side out going first for a Typhoon. I mean, maybe he thought that this would be an additional good card to draw off of Electromite
You could argue that, yeah.
to sack a bit, because in a final of a tournament like this, with an opponent like Marcus, you kind of need some extra luck, right?
That's the question, if it's really necessary or if you just say like it could be like another consistency card, because what are potential cards that he decided out? I think Ash Blossom he left no, do you think he decided out the Ash Blossoms for Typhoons?
Well, that really depends. I think that is possible.
I mean, you know that your opponent isn't playing this the Dark Worm engine, or I'm pretty sure that he knows that. So it could be that he said like, okay, with Typhoon, I'm sure to have a good target with Ash Blossom in hand. I'm relying on Marcus having a desires, so yeah. I'm being honest, like it's difficult to explain why Typhoon should be in the main deck right now for this third game.
Yeah, I also like Ash Blossom a lot more. But I mean, the thing is that there's just the perfect counter. I mean, if he substituted Typhoon for Ash Blossoms, then in this situation this will hurt him a lot, because Ash Blossom would stop Astro Chrono, while Typhoon does not do that much. I mean, it stops him from special summoning the Time Gazing Magician.
Yeah, that's true.
But then still there will be the Astrograph special summon searching out the Chronograph. But can he play on from that point?
He has the purple poison in hand, so
yeah, so he was
he
safe to
needs
panel some one
any
monster.
panel monster basically to draw, which is not completely unlikely in a panel deck.
But he's going to go for Harbinger and Vortex, so
it's actually so sad because the opening is so good. What he's doing, getting back his resources, just to be met by a Kaiju over one of the two negations, probably the Harbinger, as you said, and
Yeah.
then the Chalice for the Vortex, and suddenly you play with 4 cards against 1 interruption. That should be enough, actually, or could be enough. I have to say it like this, depending on the draw, because if he's going to draw like another Kaiju or another non-pendulum card, he's in troubles.
Yeah. I mean, he can summon the other kaiju and have beat stick, but having a beat stick on board that is basically a vanilla is not that great anymore.
Especially as the play that Lucas is doing right now is getting back so many resources back to his hand, that he's probably next turn able to go all in
Yeah.
to push for final damage if Marcus isn't able to establish a board.
I'm so excited to see how this will turn out. Because the next draw of Marcus is really important, or the draw that he might get off of his Electromite. So he also has the Xianke Magician on board, which might just be another interruption for a light monster. Does he have important light monsters?
Well, Beatrice isn't important anymore. Omega, not really. Like the monster with my doesn't matter, and afterwards, actually not.
I mean, Jackal is a light monster.
Jack was a
Jackal
dark.
dark and Cerberus is light.
Exactly.
Oh, so that doesn't matter as well.
Okay, so it is. Oh. It is Jack. It is Cerberus.
Cerberus is huge.
That's amazing. This hand, like so many. He
Yeah.
can. I think it was a few weeks ago. It was popular. A version where you played Firewall Dragon.
Yeah.
Because you could like go into, if you can go into multiple Electromites before Pendulum Summon, you can do some weird link boards.
Oh.
And his hand is looking exactly like that.
Let me interrupt you for a second. So he wants to try and stop the chronograph.
Mm-hmm.
The Chalice is chained, but now there are 2 spell or trap cards on the board, so he is able to activate the Typhoon from his hand, which he could have also just set.
I think it's correct to hold it in hand, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you have 2 negations, you don't expect.
There's the Astrograph.
There's the Astrograph, yeah.
And
he's
as
shaking
Marcus
his
is
head.
looking, there's a man on his mission. If he's not messing up again.
Yeah.
Because it is a Master Cerberus. Oh, it is a Master Cerberus, pretty sure.
Should be, yeah. I mean, he's just gonna. He's still going to have the the Electromite without the normal summon. I mean, what else do you want? But he decides not to. Is that not a Cerberus? Or
Oh, it
there a
is.
reason?
He goes into. I think he goes into Sephiratron afterwards, before Pendulum Summoning,
Oh,
to summon back
Oh.
3 monsters.
that is quite a play.
Decent.
But is he safe to Pendulum summon out all of these monsters without a good draw and whilst using Cerberus now? Because he will have to pop a scale with his Electromite.
Yeah. Well, he could. Just thinking what he could do. Yeah, that's actually true. Like, no, does it matter?
He sends Harmonizing Magician. So maybe he's going to destroy the Cerberus now and add back the purple poison.
What I would like, what a good play would be like, is going now for Cerberus, searching Jackal, and then depending on the draw, he can still decide on
that's
the Electromite. Exactly.
a good idea. Right, there's it's Jackal and not Cerberus.
Sad reacts. Misleading information.
Yes. Not our fault, guys. Not our fault.
He took back the purple poison. He drew another chalice.
That is not the card he wanted to see. So he's going to pendulum 2 cards, not too shabby. But
I mean, he still gets rid of gets rid of the whole field. That's not the problem. Because of the purple poison, which takes out one monster, the attack of Astrograph another one. There's no reason to not take the Jackal at this point.
So Jackal and Astrograph Sorcerer are going to be the one Starving Venom or maybe another Electromite. Starving Venom or Electromite.
I think Starving is okay. Like, it's bigger than the monsters because he wants to get rid of the whole field at this point.
He will have to attack with the Starving Venom first into the Harbinger. He needs a monster that gets over Harbinger, otherwise he will just suck up an attack.
Well, I think Chalice is on the Harbinger, so it doesn't matter at this point.
It's how ironic that Harbinger is negated by a Chalice, by a spell card. I mean, even if the negation of the Xianke Magician mattered, now that would be the next Chalice. I mean, okay, so Lucas,
he's on 2 cards in hand. These cards are Black Fang
and Astrograph Sorcerer. He just searched them.
That's alright.
He has scales set up.
Does he have Black Fangs left in the deck? That's maybe important to know.
Yeah, I think he might, because he just destroyed one and searched another Black Fang, and then he destroyed one and searched the Astrograph Sorcerer. So this is
he's missing out on some damage. Let's hope that it won't backfire, because he could have like gone for or attack with Starving Venom the Harbinger for 300 piercing damage, and then attacking over Comangus with the push the Astrograph Sorcerer.
Yes, exactly. So now he swings over the Comangus,
setting face on Chalice.
Yeah, Chalice is important.
Exactly.
Well. It also works like a trap card. It's basically another interruption, or let's not say another interruption, but it's an interruption. So
which can be crucial on the Electromite at this point, like
indeed.
Acting like a whaler.
Electromite is really important in this situation. I mean, he can go into Electromite after Pendulum Summoning. He could even go into it before Pendulum Summoning, but he would have to use up all of his scales, and I'm not sure if you want to do that. So depending on the draw, you might just want to Pendulum Summon first and then use up all your scale effects to summon Stargazing Magician, and there is an Astrograph Sorcerer that searches out a purple poison.
They're still in battle phase. Okay.
Yes, on the attack over the Comangus. That is really well played.
The question is if it's enough. He needs to draw. What does he need to draw at this point?
I mean, this is just an extra card he has.
Yeah,
basically.
So he decided to summon the Astrograph in defense.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so he's going to attack with Electromite, I guess, and using Chalice.
Oh yeah.
Could that be?
That hurts. So, but that is one negation less, right? That is.
He doesn't have any negation, so that's the ending field.
There goes the interruption.
That's not a question of the draw of Lucas is now depending.
I mean, imagine he drew Harmonizing Magician. That would be insane. He could immediately go for the Raigeki Dragon, which he is running, I think. He will have to. He's not.
He drew Allure of Darkness.
Okay. Allure, that's.
He needs to play the card because just with 2 scales he can battle some 1 monster from his extra deck, and that's now in time. But I think time won't matter in this match.
I think there are many good cards he could draw into. Like
Hopefully no typhoons. Okay.
a pendulum call would be really good. Just to get all of this good. I mean, he plays clearing. I'm sorry, I misread that. I mean, why wouldn't he? It's very gaggy. So, Marcus is on no cards. And Lucas has Purple Poison, and Black Fang Magician.
Okay, so he would need to go with Black Fang and Poison Scales. Pendulum Summon, using Black Fang probably to splash something back.
I think
it's playable. It's absolutely playable.
I think he's going to break that board.
It's not unlikely, no, absolutely not.
So what are his options? So scale, obviously. Then you Pendulum Summon out the Purple Poison from your hand to keep your normal summon if you draw into something. And what are the monsters in his extra deck? I mean,
I think it doesn't matter because you will go into Electromite
anyways,
sure.
Yes. So Pendulum Summon out something. And due to having those two Purple Poison, that is just huge. I mean, you can pop the Purple Poison and pop the Starving Venom. I mean, you do not have to touch his scale first, because you will kill the Electromite first, obviously. So he goes for that play. Right, and now there will be most likely an Electromite. Oh, right, he has the Black Fang Magician as well. So reducing the Starving Venom so you don't have to deal with that via a pop effect. So you can use one of your destruction effects from Purple Poisons to actually destroy the scale and leave him with basically not a lot of options. So Electromite, Sense, Harmonizing Magician, I see. He destroys Purple Poison and
destroying Electromite, probably going to use summon the Harmonizing, go into Ignister, popping Astrograph and shuffling back Chronograph, attacking over Starving Venom, and leaves Marcus with no cards left.
Yes, that might just be the play. What did he draw? That is the question. That is perfectly well executed. So he draws a card. Normal summons.
It's
Allure of
Allure,
Darkness.
so
You do not want to risk not drawing to a Dark Monster. You do not need it. That is such a nice gold rare Ignis term. So used to say Ignis.
another questionable choice after the Typhoon, the gold rare Ignister.
That's my Ignister, you know that.
Still a questionable choice.
I mean, it's not the prettiest of rarities, but I treat him with a lot of love. So, he is just going to shuffle back the Astrograph Sorcerer, destroy Chronograph, run over the monsters with Allure in hand. What are the options for Marcus?
Desires.
Yeah.
That seems like the only option right now.
Lucas is in such a favorable spot.
Because yes, he have game on field for next turn. Well, does he have quickly 4/6? No, actually it's not.
So activates Allure just for the lulz. I mean,
Well,
that is greedy.
is it? I mean, he could like draw dark and okay, it was greedy. There's a Kaiju.
And so Lucas Windel, Team Trend, won.
Why did Marcus
He drew a Kaiju and he was a low amount of life points.
He was at 4/750, so he could like attribute the Ignister, leaving Lucas with no cards in hand. But I'm not sure if it was already the last turn of Marcus. That's possible.
Yeah, it's true. Timeout. So Team Trend won the Card Sports League final. That is a surprise for sure.
Can also say that Lucas Windel won.
Yeah, Lucas Windel.
From
Sure, I'm
Team
so
Trend.
sorry. Lucas Windel, a great player, as I called it. Do you remember when I said that Lucas was going to win this? Yes,